Welcome to the Wildcat Week Halftime Show. I'm your host, Aaron Martindale. Let's get away from the IWU Damon game in Lucky Arena and take a look at what's been going on with sports teams here at IWU. We start off with volleyball. The women's volleyball team competed in the Crossroads League Championship last Saturday in Lucky Arena. The 8th-ranked Lady Wildcats took on the Bethel Lady Pilots in the final round of the championship. Bethel comes in at 23-12, while IWU has a record of 35-2. Here we start things off in the first set, up 13-9. IWU sending the message as Yui Awase sets up Elijah Mulitao Pele, too much for Bethel to handle. Later on, up 19-12, Yui Awase sets up a slam by Christine Egebrecht. Egebrecht been doing this for so many times in her career, over 1,000 kills total in her career. In the second set, it's a close match with the Cats leading 14-12. Here's senior Rachel Quackenbush with a cross-court shot. It lands in bounds for a Wildcat score. IWU wins the first two sets, but in the third set, Bethel makes a run. Here Bethel is up 6-1 and middle hitter Aubrey Husak giving the Wildcats trouble. She was all Crossroads first team and you can see why. Bethel would lead the majority of this set. Here they score again as Yui Awase tries to defend, but doesn't have quite enough. IWU close their way back though, and they end up taking the lead late in the third set. IWU scores on this Ray Brandes deflection. And watch how it all ends with a little trickery. Yui Awase will set it up for, oh, nope, it's Rachel Quackenbush with the drop. IWU wins the Crossroads League Championship. Coach Candace Moats and her girls wrapping up the league and advancing to the NAIA National Tournament for the second year in a row. This is the 11th year that Coach Moats has been coaching at IWU, and it's the 9th time one of her teams has won the league tournament. She is now 335-135 at the school with an all-time conference record of 91-23. The Lady Wildcats advanced to the NAIA National Tournament, where they look to be playing in Sioux City, Iowa at the end of this month. The men's soccer team took on Spring Arbor University last Saturday at home in the finals of the Crossroads League Tournament. The Wildcats had played Spring Arbor in October and lost 2-0 then. Won a different result this time, but the winner of this game will advance to the NAIA National Tournament. We'll start things off about 13 minutes into the game. This game is scoreless up to this point, but Spring Arbor's Joel Musambi catches Wildcats goalie Jeff Gepper by surprise, as you see right here. Spring Arbor goes up 1-0. There are no more scores in the game until the 55th minute. You can't see him, but here Jeff Bowman sends it in to senior Seth Dausma. And initially it doesn't look like he got the score, but a few moments later it's confirmed it was a score. The home fans like that call there, and now it's tied up 1-1. The game ends up going into overtime and then double overtime. In double OT, Spring Arbor's Joel Musambi will be moving down the field quickly. You'll see it here in a few seconds. But he ends up getting tripped by Josh Schultz, which sets up a penalty kick by the Cougars. This penalty kick play would seal the fate of the Wildcats. And here you see Josh Gepper misses the save, and Spring Arbor defeats IWU in double OT 2-1. The loss stings for the Wildcats, and Spring Arbor ends up winning the Crossroads League. IWU comes up short, and they drop to 13-3-4, while Spring Arbor goes to 16-3-2. The Wildcats played at the Midwest Regionals of the Christian Nationals on Wednesday, and Coach Castro's team dropped the match to the host Grace 4-1. With the loss, their season is over. Now on to cross country. The men's and women's cross country teams competed last Saturday at Christian Nationals at Cedarville University. The women's team finished 7th out of 35 teams, and the men's team finished 8th out of 39 teams. The NAIA National Championships are today in Vancouver, Washington. Well, stick around. When we come back, we'll tell you about how one IWU athlete battled back from injury. Stay tuned.
Have you heard the voice of God today? Indiana Wesleyan University's chapel offers a refreshing look at God's Word. Enjoy messages from university faculty, inspired students, and guests from around the country.
Well, worship is never just a one-way thing. It's not me just talking to you, but it's also you saying you want the Spirit of God to speak to you.
Hear God's Word from IWU Chapel every week here on WIWU. Join WIWU for an hour of inspirational television from College Wesleyan Church.
When Jesus intercedes, he is creating a new relationship between himself and us and the world.
It's an hour of television that matters from WIWU TV.
Well, welcome back to the Wildcat Week Halftime Show. Thanks for sticking around. The women's soccer team played Cincinnati Christian University in the NCCAA Midwest Regional Semifinal on Wednesday night. IWU came into the home game with a 13-4-1 record, while Cincinnati Christian came in at 10-8-1. Senior forward Kelsey Johnston put the first points on the board in the 19th minute. Then in the 45th minute, Jordan Harris here has an assist and the shot by freshman phenom Katie Pannebecker to make it 2-0 IWU. Cincinnati Christian with only one shot attempt here, as you just saw, but IWU goalie Jamie Spadell gets the save. Coach Bratcher's team up 2-0 at the half. In the second half, there's more action as Katie Pannebecker makes a shot, but she's called for offsides. Later on, though, she gets another chance. Becca Coffey here sends it to Kelsey Johnston, and Kelsey Johnston touches it, and then Katie Pannebecker kicks it in again, and IWU scores this time, and they go up 3-0. Ladies advance to the regional tournament championship on Saturday, and there the women face top-seeded Grace College in Winona Lake, Indiana. The start time for that game was 10 a.m., and IWU, you can find the results online for that game. Well, when it comes to sports, you hear stories of players who sustain career-ending injuries never step foot on the arena of competition again. But one injured IWU basketball player didn't let the bump in the road defeat him. As our own Brian Kokalis tells us, this Wildcat was knocked down, but he didn't stay down.
The Wildcats trying to increase that lead to 5. Jones puts it on the floor, and unfortunately, he loses a handle.
George Jones down the other end.
George Jones looks like he hurt his ankle or leg on that last play. Here's
when I first went down, my
really looks like he's in pain.
First reactions was I couldn't dribble the ball, so I had to turn over. And I fell, and I just grabbed my calf, and I couldn't help but just scream.
There was a lot of uncertainty for what was going to happen next for his Achilles heel.
When I went to the doctor a few days after it happened, he came in and told me that it was ruptured.
Fortunately for Jones, Indiana Wesleyan has a great staff that took care of him from the very start.
Like from the moment on the floor, we went out there and evaluated him, and actually, we just thought, okay, is he cramping up? Evaluated his injury on the side, and also even further in the athletic trainer room.
George started his recovery. Rebuilding the body was hard. It took effort every single day. But with each bit of progress, George was healing in other ways.
You go through these moments of questioning, why did this happen to me? Then you finally realize, hey, I can't change this. I got to make the best of this. And I've seen George do that. I've seen him go from that attitude to, all right, I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to prove people wrong. But all the way while you're doing that, you're leaning upon your faith and you're growing. And I've seen that in George, and there's certainly more to come.
Kind of drove me to get in the Word more and just kind of have faith in what God has planned for me in my life. And I think it definitely just made me look back and reflect on the years of me playing basketball, reflect on my life, just look at the big picture of things, and knowing that it's not going to be my last time ever playing basketball. I just kind of feel reunited. I kind of feel rejuvenated. I feel refreshed. I'm just excited.
So as the Wildcats kick off their season, George's journey will be a reminder of where he started and just how far he has come.
Well, that's really a testament to the dedication of George Jones, putting all those hard hours of work and dedication and determination in. Hopefully this comeback season turns out to be a successful one for him and the team. Well, that will about do it for this edition of Wildcat Week Halftime. Remember, if you want more information about WIWU and all our Wildcat sports, you can visit www.wiwutv.com. That's www.wiwutv.com. That's all we have for you on this edition of Wildcat Week Halftime. Now let's get back to the second half of the men's basketball game against Damon College. I'm Aaron Martindale, and this has been Wildcat Week Halftime.